Don't give up on yourself before you give yourself a chance. And I know it sounds cheesy, but I'll be completely honest, those are the words that I needed to hear when I was younger. Back in elementary school, I dealt with constant bullying and I always wanted to become better than the person I was yesterday. I knew that I had some flaws and yet I wasn't able to overcome them mentally, and that drove me to the brink of wanting to end myself around the age of 8 years old. And I struggled through this through middle school, and I was able to meet people that I can consider friends, and now I do have ambitions of my own. And yet, at the back of my mind, those thoughts still linger. Those insecurities still linger, and I want to become better. I want to be able to face my problems and fix them. I want to accept that I'm not perfect, and yet I try to compare myself to people that I try to compare myself to people who are doing significantly better than me. I'll compare myself to people who are much older than me, celebrities, movie stars, people that most people can only dream of becoming like, having that kind of fame, money, and if anything, that freedom of doing whatever you want. And the one thing that helped me push myself to fix my own problems was getting a job. And look, I hate working just like the next guy. I really do. Being able to be someone's employee and being pushed around and doing all these kind of things. And doing meaningless tasks that I know won't count to anything. And having, people higher up trying to suck up to you, saying that you're doing great, and yet they won't raise your pay more than 50 cents. And one of the jobs was working at a pizzeria, and I was a cashier. And I came in with the knowledge knowing that with being a cashier that you would most likely want Spanish, being able to communicate with a significant portion of the people who live or reside in South Florida, which is where I'm based in. And yet, Spanish being my heritage and my culture and a language that I still have not given myself the option or even put an ounce of effort into, thinking that life would just give it to me. But I was naive to the point where I believed that maybe I'll just get lucky that I don't have to put in hard work, because at that point I had already given up so much time of my life, especially my young years where I did not have the will to live, that I believed that it wouldn't help or it wouldn't matter even if I tried now that I'm trying to learn this language too late, that I missed my window opportunity, which would have been when I was younger. But then I realized, I can't keep being like this forever. I don't want to be an adult, someone with a family, someone with responsibilities, a job, that I'm not able to speak this language because I'm scared of what other people might think of me if I mess up or fail. And I had coworkers speak to me in Spanish, and I was able to understand them, and it made me feel great knowing that I was taking a step, albeit a very small step, into the direction that I wanted to go in, which was to learn this language. The language that I feared so much, and I never gave myself the chance to learn. And I put in as much effort as I possibly could into this pizzeria because I wanted to have the fruits of my labor bloom and show that I can actually do something when I put my mind into it. And sadly, the job wasn't it for me. I'm not sure what happened, but I wasn't scheduled for the next I wasn't scheduled for the next 2 or 3 weeks. And I realized, wow, they must have found someone better than me, someone who was cheaper to, or someone who was willing to take cheaper pay. And at the end of the day, I wasn't angry at my boss, and I wasn't angry at the other person that I most likely got hired. I was angry at myself, that I knew that I could become better, but if only I started earlier. But I knew down deep in my heart that I shouldn't be telling myself things that, and I knew down deep in my heart that I shouldn't tell myself that now that I'm willing to understand that I have these shortcomings, that I'm working to them, and this makes me better than the person I was yesterday, and this will make the person, and that would make the younger me happy and proud of myself, knowing that I can do something. And it made me happy more than I can believe, knowing that I can put in effort by my own will and learn something and become better. And then a couple months later, I was able to get a job at this dry cleaning place, and with this place, the majority of people spoke Spanish, and yet I still was. And by that time I had dropped learning the language because I didn't have the motivation or dedication, if anything, to just watch a couple videos. I would literally do like an hour of studying, and yeah, for some reason I couldn't get off my own ass and go out there and listen to something, anything, music, watching YouTube videos, anything, TV shows. And at that point, I had to quite literally give up on myself. I gave up on a goal that I knew that I needed to achieve, that I wanted to achieve. But I fell short, and I didn't know what to do. I got to this job, and I was able to understand the people, but these are already words, sentences, and these are already words and sentences that I already knew beforehand while working at the pizza place. And for this job as well, I tried very hard, and I put in a lot of effort. And around the 6 month period, I believe it was maybe March, and I decided, I'm gonna ask the boss for a raise. And I did. And he said, yeah, I'll give it to you in 3 months. Because during the summer, the place is very slow, it's very quiet, there isn't much work. And I thought to myself, wow, I put in so much effort, I try to put myself out there, I understood what the people were saying, and I got myself in a very uncomfortable space, being able to communicate to people, or at least trying to do what I could. And I put all my time and effort into this job, even though I was already in college, in a completely new atmosphere, and backed by someone that I believed, would be willing to take in someone who didn't have any experience in this kind of job, and they were taking a risk of their own. I thought that, this was something. This could have been my future. That day, it's dangerous to have my heart on my sleeve, knowing that anyone and anything could take advantage of me, and having my hopes and dreams being acknowledged and diminished. And I knew that I couldn't allow myself to be disrespected or disrespect myself. And I realized that I couldn't allow myself to work this job. I was being disrespected. I put in so much work, and yet nothing came of it. As long as I stay here, there was an opportunity for growth, and I knew that for myself and what my career could be in the future. I helped this man gain thousands of dollars while I worked for mere hundreds. I worked more hours than he most likely spent even in the place, daily. Here's the thing, I might speak quite passionately about this, but I genuinely don't hold a grudge for this man or anything like that, or the job that I worked with, people who are working there. But it just was a wake-up call that I can't do this, and I can't. But it was a wake-up call. But it was a wake-up call for myself, and that I can do better, and I need to force myself. And here I am now, making these YouTube videos. I've been doing that for around, I think, 2 months, possibly 3 months. And it's been great. It's good knowing that I'm able to record what I'm doing and show people and let people watch these videos, or just understand, or even comment that people are going through the same shit, that we're all struggling, and yet we're trying. And sometimes it goes great, sometimes it goes horribly, but at the end of the day, we're winning because we're doing more than what we were doing the day before. Being able to see that we have problems and improve on them makes us better than, if anything, 99% of the people. We're taking action while most people give up and slave away at their corporate 9 to 5. And if anything, I want to say that I won't be a part of the economy, that I won't, allow myself to feed into the consumer, that I won't allow myself to, and I want to say that I won't allow myself to feed into the consumerism. But at the end of the day, I'm no different. That I have my desires, I have my needs, I have my cravings. And I buy things that I don't need. I buy impulsive things. I'm not perfect, nor will I ever say that I am, but that I'm just like everybody else. But at the very least, I'm able to, and yeah, I always fall short of doing it. And I see myself every day waking up and avoiding my responsibilities, that if anything, I'm scared of the future and what it holds, but that's not a feeling that I can hold forever. I don't know how long I will live, and I don't know what life is going to throw at me, but at the very least, I want to know that I tried as hard as I could, and I wasn't held back by anything or anyone. And if anything, my biggest obstacle is myself and my mentality. And I know this, and I genuinely want to become better. And if anything, it's quite selfish that I'm even posting these kind of videos, because I want to show that I'm becoming better. I want people to know that, look, this kid who, and in retrospect, me posting these videos is quite selfish. I would like if people would support my journey and comment on what they believe and what they're also going through, and knowing that we aren't alone in this fight for ourselves, and the mistakes that I've made in life, and being able to work upon those mistakes gives me energy, gives me life, it gives me a reason to keep going, knowing that I can be better. And I'm seeing myself every day deteriorate, becoming worse, not working out, not reading, not doing something with my life, and now I need to work on shit, and I can't keep doing this forever. I will be a sad disappointment. I don't want to be a sad disappointment to myself and the people around me. I carry the burden of knowing that these people put in their time and effort and tears and sweat into me when I was younger and struggling with my mental health, and now I was able to repay them tenfold. I want them to know that I appreciate everything that they've done for me, and I want to be the person they envisioned for me. And it's quite hypocritical that I say this, because in my last video I said I don't. And the thing is, it's quite hypocritical that I say these things, but at the end of the day, I'm lost, and genuinely, there are some days where I don't even know what my future is going to hold for me or what I'm even going to do today. But at the end of the day, I really do want the world to be a better place. And I know it is very cheesy, but this is genuinely what I want. And I want myself and other people to know that even though we're going through some tough times, that at least we can hold our heads up and everything will be okay as long as we keep trying. That I'm this all good and virtuous person, but I'm not. I have so many flaws, and I kept running from them, and now I want to stop and think about what my life will become if I keep doing this and acting like a kid, acting childish, and acting terrified of what holds, and acting terrified of the vanity that I once held, this pride, and letting go of it and knowing that I have problems. But in the end, all I wanted was to leave a legacy for the family that would come after me. You know, it's very selfish, but I was scared of all my hard work that I would put into this world and to myself to be forgotten. And in the next 100 years, I'm sure all of us will be forgotten. That will just be seen as normal people in the family. But now I have to accept that, you know what, I gotta be okay with it, because how am I supposed to give up on myself before I even start doing something with my life? And now I'm giving myself the opportunity, and you know what, if I crash and burn, then oh shit, I tried all I could and I don't regret anything right now. And sorry for getting a bit off topic during the end of the video, but I don't know, I just really wanted to get all these ideas out of my head and see what came out of it. And yeah, thank you for watching.